Okay, so I had this theory in the back of my mind concerning Palworld, and it seems I'm not the only one. Now, this was a part of some greater research project I was doing incognito in the background, kind of leaning on my contacts within the gaming industry, and along came today's article, and it seemed like the perfect opportunity to combine the thoughts with the stats. Welcome to the channel. I am LtBuzzLitebeer, and we know that Microsoft already has some skin in the game with Pocket Pair, as they brought the mega hit Palworld to Xbox, including a pledge to support the integration and provide server infrastructure. But what if there's a whole lot more going on behind that curtain? Remember to hit subscribe and ring the notifications bell to receive my upload alerts, and let's check out this one for ourselves. Coming to us earlier today from Paul Tassi over at Forbes, and he pretty much just spells it all out here in the headline. There's little doubt Microsoft will try to buy Palworld and Pocket Pair at this point, which you could say is insane. You could say that's never going to happen. There's no way in hell, but despite everything that is currently going on with Microsoft, the confusion, the public announcement, and rumors about them sending over some, if not all, of their first-party titles to be sold on PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch, of which we'll learn more of next week. But yeah, if you step back and look it all over, Microsoft could already have this one in the works for a whole lot of reasons. That's why in all this chaos, I believe something else is no doubt happening behind the scenes. I absolutely have to think that Microsoft is trying to buy Pocket Pair, the developer of Palworld, and lock up that explosive hit of a franchise for themselves. Well, for themselves to potentially release on other platforms, but as something they full own. And again, as of now, we still don't know exactly what is going to take place at Microsoft and Xbox, although there have been plenty of leaks hinting towards an all-out battle between keeping the current course with Xbox or shifting over to a multi-platform traditional software developer that happens to sell consoles and has a subscription gaming service, and will make title-by-title determinations to keep certain new games exclusive for a period of time. You know, the whole damn thing is, like Tassi says, in a complete state of chaos. Palworld recently revealed it had 19 million players, 7 million of which were those who were playing on Xbox Game Pass, where a PlayStation version of the game does not yet exist, as that's only being considered according to Pocket Pair. And here's where I'm going to drop in some charts for you from my contact at VG Insights, who I've leaned on in the past to provide me a look behind the curtain for Ark Survival Ascended sales. Now, as of February 6th, VGI is placing Palworld Steam sales north of 14 million copies, and it's likely that Xbox sales have also increased, so we could be looking at 22, 23, 24 million combined players. And just think what would happen to those player counts if it dropped also on PlayStation. Tassi also makes a good point here in the article. A Game Pass deal means that Microsoft has already cut Pocket Pair a check, but no one, not Pocket Pair or Microsoft, expected it to blow up into a 20+ million player game. So now that Game Pass deal may turn into something more. Microsoft has already said they're throwing support Pocket Pair's way in order to help the game scale, be more stable, and allow for more frequent updates for Xbox, but also probably the PC version as well. Now, one thing we don't know is how much Xbox has already shelled out to Pocket Pair to get Palworld onto the Xbox ecosystem. But apparently they felt strongly enough to not only pay for the ability to use it on their systems, but have also pledged support to better implement and optimize the game for Xbox, which you don't do if you aren't all in. And here's where Tassi kind of wades into the deep end of the pool and discusses what's on everyone's mind: money. It does not seem like more than a hop, skip, and a jump to Microsoft attempting to buy Pocket Pair outright while their heads are still spinning from this meteoric success. It's hard to know an exact valuation here. I've got some stats for you in a moment. But if there are 12 million players of the game purchased at $26 a piece, that's $312 million in revenue already earned on a shoestring budget with a team of amateurs. Palworld doesn't have post-release monetization, so the price is the price, but you have to wonder what Microsoft would be willing to shell out for this, something that they may believe could become their own rival to Pokemon if given enough time, attention, and care, and if Game Freak keeps being as complacent as they've been the last few generations on the Switch. Okay, that was a lot there. Multiple angles to consider here, but the first is that if Microsoft ever wanted a strong contender, you know, a horse strong enough to take on Nintendo and Pokemon, here it is. And if you haven't taken a look at that portion of the market share, Pokemon and Nintendo are industry giants, and Microsoft really wants a piece of that action. Now, the second point here is the price. How much will it cost to snatch up Pocket Pair and Palworld? Tassi brings up $26 a copy times 12 million players equals $312 million in revenue, which again is f***ing insane to think about, especially from a shoestring budget and, as he says, a group of amateurs. And here's where we get some more charts from VGI. And according to their internal data, Palworld, as of February 6th, has an estimated revenue of $323.7 million bucks, not including Xbox. And by the way, this number does not take into account Steam's platform cut, which I believe is after 50 million earned is what, equal to 20%? By the way, I've got more on this in a moment, which will tie in nicely with Tassi's final thoughts here. Here's what he says. So, how much? That's a good question. Of course, Microsoft shelled out $69 billion for Activision Blizzard. He forgot the king there. That's very important. ZeniMax Bethesda was $7.5 billion. It paid $2.5 billion for Minecraft in 2014. How much would they spend here to lock up Palworld? $500 million? $1 billion? $2 billion? Granted, we don't know what the game's long-term prospects are, but if Microsoft, a $3 trillion company, can buy up what is likely to be one of the biggest hits of the year and something people are genuinely talking about, at least temporarily, besting Pokemon, yeah, I think they could throw a relatively small amount of cash its way easily enough. By the way, let me know what you think Microsoft would actually be willing to pay to lock up Palworld. Let me know in the comment section, because next, we're moving on to this graphic, again from VGI, and it really gives you an idea of what Pocket Pair has been able to accomplish. They put together this chart showing revenue and total sales. Again, this is Steam, and just take a look at these. They're all pretty much monster AAA titles here. You've got the likes of Starfield, Sons of the Forest, and by the way, don't dunk on Sons. It was the number 5 game on Steam for 2023 in terms of total revenue. You can also see Hogwarts, Elden Ring, and the current top dog, of course, Baldur's Gate 3, which, by the way, VGI is predicting will be caught and passed by Palworld in the next few days. And really, the only reason that Palworld is not blowing just straight off the top of this graph is its lower sale price, which is, by the way, half that of Baldur's Gate 3. Okay, so back to Tassi's breakdown of those previous acquisitions and prices. Microsoft paid $7.5 billion for all of ZeniMax and not just Starfield. And the Activision Blizzard King deal was, of course, enormous. But what do you pay for a studio that would, A, give you a direct competitor to Pokemon and Nintendo, B, is about to surpass every heavy-hitting AAA title on Steam, like, again, Hogwarts, Elden Ring, and BG3, and C, has tremendous growth potential and is doing all of this while selling at a reduced price and in early access. I mean, how much would they have to pay to get Larian and BG3? I mean, that's probably a good comparison. What if Warner Brothers or FromSoft had just one game to their names? How much would Microsoft shell out to get Hogwarts or Elden Ring? I honestly don't know, but if I were a betting man, I think that Microsoft's proposition is going to start with a B, as in billions, and then the only detail is to work out how many numbers are in front of that B. By the way, what do you think of Tassi's theories? Is Microsoft already in the works behind the scenes to make a play for 2024's mega surprise hit? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to hit subscribe and ring the notifications bell to receive my latest upload alerts. All my socials can be found in the video description, and I'm active on both Twitter and in my own personal Discord server, so check both of those out. Shout out to the now over 192,000 of you that have taken the plunge and stuck with me, and 200,000 subscribers is right around the corner. If you haven't done so already, I would love to have you along for the ride as we make that last push up to 200K. Until the next one, this is Lieutenant BuzzLitebeer, signing off.